The Bushy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to the Healthy Scratch. It's been a while.
It's been more than a while.
We've had some shit going on. That's how it goes, right? But it's trade deadline day, trade deadline week. Trade deadline day has been incredibly boring. We are going to go through all the trades that we want to talk about because there's some minor ones that who gives a shit. But the first big one of, I guess the trade deadline season, we'll say, includes your Vancouver Canucks. So you want to break that one down for us?
Yeah, it's been over a month since this trade happened. January 30th.
Okay, it has been a month.
January 30th, where Vancouver dealt captain Bo Horvat to the Islanders for Anthony Pavelier. Auto ready is how I'm pronouncing it.
I think it's Atu Ratu.
That's where's Ratu?
It's Atu Ratty.
Yeah, and then a first round pick, but that pick got dealt later on for
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. What do you think about Bo Horvat? Obviously, was a captain for a while.
For a couple of years now, and it's something that I was hoping that they'd get a deal done with him and sort of build with them.
Right. But at the same time, I'm looking at it going, they're like the Canucks, in my opinion, were like kind of more in a similar state of like the Red Wings, where
which is what we
said. Like, you're not that good, but we're not really tearing it down. You're trying to build it, but like Horvat, like, are you going to pay him all this money when you already have like Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, and like all these guys that you're going to eventually have to pay? I think like the deal that he got with the Islanders, which was basically like Larkin's deal.
Yeah.
Would you have been comfortable doing that, knowing that maybe it might cause some shit down the line?
I probably would have been close to it, and that's where I heard was they were like a 500, but they ended up getting done.
That's close.
At the same time, if you're not close in your negotiations, you got to get something before you walk away for nothing.
Yeah, and they did, right? Pavelier had some good seasons a few years ago, so he's not nothing. And obviously, Ratu, whatever you would say, he was a top prospect for a while whenever he got drafted 2 years ago. So, project player and then a first round pick, top 12 protected. From the Islanders, that might be something you use in the future.
Which you do down the line there. Ratty has come up though. He was starting some second line there in Abbotsford, and he's doing pretty well, it looked like. So they called him up. I haven't really seen what he's done up in Vancouver, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to me how we're doing because Vancouver is now at bottom 6.
And it's something that's like, all right, let's try to get
these young guys playing.
They still have like a decent core, so people don't understand what they're doing. Kind of do, but it's like you can't just tear it all down. You have talented guys to build around. You just have to look at that age and go, is that a guy that we're going to continue to be good with? So that Horvat trade, I saw it and all right, it's
it hurts because it's your captain, it's your franchise leader there.
See, like the difference is like if Larkin didn't sign with the Red Wings, which he did, there's no one else. Like you have Elias Pettersson, your next to your guy. Right?
Pettersson.
He doesn't have any. They don't have Andrew Koch or something like. They don't have the next guy. Yeah. Now, like some of the other bigger trades that happened beforehand too. The Rangers picked up Vladimir Tarasenko, which isn't nothing. A few years, 3 years, 4 years removed from the Stanley Cup with the Blues.
Yeah.
And the Blues retained 50% of the salary. Nico Mikkola, who's not, and he's a decent defenseman too, went to the Rangers, and then the Blues gave up Sammy Blais, who, they got Sammy Blais.
Yeah,
actually, I got confused because Sammy Blais was on the Blues, went to the Rangers, back to the Blues. They also had some Hunter Skinner, never heard of him, but first round pick and a fourth round pick. So it's a lot of people will kind of go like, well, man, they didn't really give up that much. It's a rental. I don't think they're bringing him back. I don't think they're going to bring Patrick Kane back, who they also picked up, because, you got to pay someone at one point. who's it going to be? Right?
Who's going to be the guy?
Is it going to be one or the other? I don't think you can take both, right? So like that trade was interesting because I went, all right. I mean, the Rangers are clearly built to win it. Right? I mean, defensively, I mean, maybe that's the only point. There's always going to be a weak point with a team. And I think like maybe that would be it. But like offensively, yeah, Shesterkin with Halak as a backup, and then you have this offense is holy shit. I mean, it should be lights out for sure.
Interesting now playing with Panarin, who's buddies with playing with KHL.
Kane played with Panarin as well. We'll talk about Kane when we get to. We're going in order. All these trades. Like the next one,
right?
O'Reilly. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Another St.
Louis just shipping off their captain, Ryan O'Reilly, which they retained 50% of it. Minnesota retains 25%.
Yeah, so Minnesota came in to broker. Toronto has no. This is going to happen more and more. If the cap stays the way it is, it's going to happen more and more where another team's going to have to come in and retain salary.
Yeah, and then back. So, there was some list that just came in.
Oh yeah. I'll look it up. You can break this trade down.
Yeah, St. Louis receiving Adam Bidette, Mikhail Abramov, a first round pick. Yeah, butchering.
Yes. I love it. It's the best part.
2023 first round, 2023 third round, and a 2024 second round. And Minnesota's getting a 2025 fourth round out of it. So,
were you shocked when they made that trade? Like, to get Ryan O'Reilly? Like, for me, I went, is that really like what they need? Because for me, it was like at the time, they need defense. They need goaltending. I mean, they're looking at it like, it's another. They've done this now 3 years in a row. They pick up someone's captain who's older. Like Foligno, Giordano, O'Reilly. This is gonna get us over the top. Like it just looks like more of the same. I don't sound like a Leafs hater, but it's just like it is. It really is. Yeah. They're trying to do something, but
it's the same. Yeah, like I said, it's the same thing as the Foligno situation. I feel, and it's if they're one spot where it's looking that they need help, it would be on the back end and in the net. So. Producing though for him.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, he's doing well. It's just, he's a playoff performer. I mean, he does perform. He's so slow. he's getting older. He's our best, but I mean, hey, it better work out because Toronto was just emptying the tank. They're gonna have no picks, no prospects, no nothing, right? So I mean, for Leafs fans, great. You got Ryan O'Reilly. I mean, it should help you for sure. Is it gonna help against the big bad Bruins because these guys are fucking nasty. Because like one trade they made was picking up Dmitry Orlov from the Capitals, right?
Yeah.
Washington retained salary. Minnesota hopped in again and got a pick. And they also picked up and like Garnet Hathaway is actually like literally like a Boston Bruin type player. So I mean, to put him on a fourth line, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think the Leafs will get beat up against the Bruins in the playoffs, right? Which means they'd have to win a series. Let's see how that goes, right? But I mean, they gave up Craig Smith, a first round pick, a second round pick, a third round pick. That is a lot for Dmitry Orlov, but he's got like 8 points in 3 games or something. You seen that? He scored like 3 or 4 goals already. What a blistering start for Orlov, but you plug him in on that defense that is already, powerhouse, and it's like, this isn't even fair. How do they have all this talent? And listen, me and you will eat crow, me for sure, because I thought they were going to fall off. Yeah. One of these podcasts we did, I said, hey, man,
Boston's got to fall off.
If Detroit's going to make it in, somebody's got to fall off. Who would it be? And I said, Boston.
Yeah, what a
bozo. Way up.
Got to look at some of these and see what we're totally.
Yeah, and we did do that. Actually, we could do that at one point too, but we were actually pretty good. There's like 3 or 4 that were off on. But Canucks, another trade.
Yeah, Vitaly Kravtsov there coming to Vancouver from the Rangers for Willie Lockwood, which they gave him a beautiful tribute goodbye, and a 7th round pick. So
did they play Will You Remember Me?
Really remember me? That's so much. So Kravtsov, I don't know too much about him. Just other than he was the 9th overall pick in 2018.
Yeah, and I mean, he was kind of logjammed on the Rangers. He wasn't really getting a shot. He played, but he wasn't going to get top line opportunities, which is why, again, circling back to the whole draft lottery thing, Lafreniere and Paco, like, they don't need these guys. That's why I don't think the draft lottery makes sense to me. But You know what? It's something to take a flyer on a guy like Krasov. The first, he's still young. He's a first round pick. So, if he gets an opportunity to play top 9 minutes in Vancouver, like, you're going to have awkward play for so that's kind of cool. Right? So, he was a good prospect too, but you're kind of just flip flopping, giving someone an opportunity.
Yeah.
We're going to go through probably 3 here that are, I'll probably just fly through these real quick. Yeah, they're kind of, I'd say minor, but it has players of note. So like Nino Niederreiter went to Winnipeg Jets for a 2024 second round pick from the Predators. So like for Niederreiter, like he's been a serviceable player for quite a while. So getting a second round pick for him, good on the Predators. The Canadians and the Stars made a swap. Dennis Gurianov went to the Canadians. Evgeny Dadonov to the Stars. Gurianov is going to be, I think, more of a project. So I think with a team like Montreal, who's at the bottom of the standings, it's worth the risk to kind of try and find like that kind of, again, I can always go back to the Red Wings to find like a Robbie Fabry. It's like, it's just, who knows? We'll see if he'll fly type of thing. Oh, he did. Great, right? But for every Robbie Fabry, there's like a Brendan Perlini. It's like, but you're not giving up that much for him, right? So
no, it's not like you're selling out wave just for
what I'll say is like, and we'll get to another Stars trade in a while, but like they really didn't make that many moves. And I thought that like they're built in the West at least to contend, right? And I don't know if these moves are really going to help. They're still a very, very good team. And maybe these are the subtle trades they need to do, but to get Dadonov and then eventually, I don't know if that's.
Considering like you look at teams like Colorado, like Dallas, they're going to be making a playoff like a good. I think they'll have a good playoff.
Like the West isn't as tough.
No,
so
it's not.
Might as well beef up, right? Like, well, there's a lot of teams that they thought they.
I don't know if they could take down a series.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they should have done a little bit more. Maybe they still. Maybe they still a few.
Yes, 20 minutes left.
Yeah. And then there's always stuff. Another and then another St. Louis Blue that got shipped off was Ivan Barbashev, who again very serviceable. He's 27. He won the Stanley Cup, and the Blues got a prospect. So the Knights picked him up. It's good trade, Barbashev there. These are some fun things. You want me to do these? You want to do them? I want to see you do these. Oh, right. Listen, Timo Meier got traded to the New Jersey Devils. We're going to let Bobo bring you through the whole thing because there's like 15 players involved. All right, the hat's going backwards.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, just read it. Read it. The best as you can. I'm going to try not to laugh, okay?
So Timo Meier, Scott Harrington, nailed it. Timur Ibrahimov.
Yeah.
Santeri Hataka, not too bad. Zachary Edmond and a 2024 fifth-round pick. They went to the Jersey Devils there.
Easy enough.
Not too bad. Maybe a good C+.
So wait, who does San Jose get?
San Jose is receiving Andreas Johnson, Fabian Zetterlund, Shakir, oh my Jesus, I see where he did this. Shakir Muhammad I love it. Nikita Okrak.
Kodiak, yeah.
Nikita Kodiak. Conditional 2023 first, conditional 2024 second, and a 2024 seventh rounder. So
we'll break down. I want to know what type of player Shakir Muhammad and Nikita Okrak is. Go ahead.
Well, if you were to ask me, I would say do your research, watch some of their highlights on YouTube, and
if you can type that in properly, I try to fucking spell those words.
Yeah, right. But you're getting some great prospects there, and
those guys.
Yeah.
Timo Meier is a New Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Right? So there you go. That's pretty sweet. And he's restricted. So the Devils can obviously sign him to a monster contract, which they're probably going to have. Hey, let's break down this huge trade. The Colorado Avalanche bring back the Stanley Cup champion.
I didn't even know that he left.
Jack Johnson from the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know why you do this. Jack Johnson stinks.
I thought he was done, but hey, he's still playing.
He's on the Blackhawks, so he kind of was. Okay, can I take this one?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, the Tampa Bay Lightning traded for Tanner Jeannot. Okay, now this guy had an awesome season last year, but his shooting percentage through the roof This year he has like 18 points or something. The Predators for Tanner Janot, that's it. Picked up Cal Foote, a 2025 first rounder, a 2024 second, a 2023 third, a 2023 fourth, and a 2023 fifth. 5 draft picks and a prospect for this guy. Holy shit!
That's
you shitting me? Like if you're Nashville, you're like, oh my god,
absolutely.
see you later.
Until Eisenman's not the GM.
Oh my god! I mean, Nashville has they've absolutely went after it there. I mean, Janot might be exactly what Tampa Bay needs, and they're looking at it. And Julian Brisebois tried to explain it and said, "Let's hey, this is kind of the guy we want. We're going for it now. Like they know that their window is still open. Go for it. We'll figure it out later."
Yeah.
A lot of their core is already locked up for like 7 years, 8 years. So it's like, these draft picks. It's like, all right, they're not going to help us now if we can get something for them, and they did. But I just feel like they probably could have got a lot more than Tanner Janot, but he might be the guy they need for like a third line kind of playoff grit type dude. You think of that line that they used to have like Coleman, Young, and Gordon. They had when they won the cup that year. They all left the next year because they couldn't afford them. Oh, Barkley Goose. It's kind of the same type of player. Kind of is. It's very young. Here's a Leafs one for you.
Oh, there's a Leafs. Jake McCabe from the Blackhawks going to Toronto as well as Sam Lafferty in conditional 4th round and 5th round pick. Chicago on the other end is receiving Joey Anderson, Pavel Gogolev, 2025 first round pick and a 2026 second round pick. So Toronto getting a couple picks back, but again giving up another first rounder.
Like their cupboard is bare. Obviously, they're going for it. They've got O'Reilly. Now you're thinking. Now they're looking at Sam Lafferty. He's 28 years. He's really plugging in that bottom 6. I think he's anything special. Again, he's another one that's shooting percentage this year, so it's kind of like, is that going to keep up? Probably not. But Jake McCabe, I mean, the more that I looked at him, I went, he's actually like a very decent defenseman for playing on shitty teams. Like when Buffalo was awful, he was there, and Chicago's horrendous, right? And his advanced stats are actually like pretty good. So
on a team where
he's got a team
where some help and
so I actually like for the Leafs. So all right, I mean, you got a guy because I think we need defenseman. They went a little nuts with getting defensemen. They have like 11 on the roster. Something crazy. I'm some moves here. I'll rapid style these ones real quick. So like Jesse Puljujarvi went to the Carolina Hurricanes. There's been talk for years now. Puljujarvi, does he fit in with the Oilers? Is he really that top guy? He's 5th overall. Who's high up there? Patrick Pustola. I don't know who it is. He was the most searched guy on Hockey DB for like a few days because no one was fucking. But Puljujarvi is going to be restricted too. So I mean, Carolina kind of. You know what this reminded me of? The Hockey trade, where it's like a guy that's that kind of age restricted, take a shot at him. They're still a really good team. You can kind of a little bit maybe good. Marcus Johansson went back to Minnesota from Washington for a 3rd round pick. Pretty run-of-the-mill trade record from Washington back last year. Base. And I mean, look at so this is the one with Toronto where I was. What do we do? Now, people do. These 3 are all Maple Leafs trades because they all happened like pretty quickly. Yeah. So here they traded Rasmus Sandin. He's one of their best young defensemen, in my opinion, like coming up. Where it was like they never really gave him a chance to like be in that top 4. So again, you look at advanced stats, you look at how, but then you look at the eye test. I thought they lined up, but they traded him away for Eric Gustafsson and a 1st round pick. So they got a 1st round from Boston. Yeah, it was Washington. But it's something where I'm like, all right, are they doing this to free up room defensively? Sure. But are they also trying to regain some of these draft picks? Are they reloading to use this pick to do something else, right? They did the same thing. They gave away Pierre Engvall for a 3rd round pick sent from New York. That's capped on, right? He was a serviceable player too, like a top 9 guy. And then they go out and trade that 3rd round pick to get Luke Schenn.
So I am happy with getting the 3rd round pick for Luke Schenn.
Yeah, Vancouver. Like, dude, did you ever think you'd get a 3rd rounder for Luke Schenn?
No, not at all.
Because, dude, Toronto fans are creaming their pants over Luke Schenn. You ran this fucking guy out of town years ago. Like, now all of a sudden, he's
the product of Sun. He's returning.
Like if Detroit traded for Brendan Smith, and I was like, what? you ran him out of town, you know? Like I could do that with a lot of players, right? But I mean, hey, take a third rounder for Luke Shed, right?
Yeah. And then here's another one with Edmonton where they're getting Matthias Ekholm, a 6th-round pick for Tyson Barrie, Reed Schaefer, 1st-round pick. It's not even protected. Okay. 4th-round pick. So
Nashville did some work. Okay, they made a lot of trades. They picked up a ton of picks this deadline. But here's what I'll say. Okay, you shit on Ken Holland a lot, but what is this trade? Like Matthias Ekholm, yes, is he more of a defenseman? Yeah, but like Tyson Barrie, wasn't he like your power play quarterback?
that's what I thought.
And you gave him a 1st round for it, like
a free.
and it's done. They literally went, well, that's all we're doing.
Kenny Holland was supposed to have his press conference at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so 1 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
and then they said, okay, it's not going to be until said they were going to be done, and then nothing. Then he's postponed his conference. So
that's interesting. Thank God. My God.
Considering we were saying that he was what we just saw there, but yeah, it's another Kenny Holland just turning around draft picks. And
yeah. Right now, there's some interesting stuff going on with Detroit, which I don't think is going to happen here. But like, I have no idea what's happening. Apparently, they're looking at JVR. Listen.
Them in Seattle is the last thing.
I don't get it. There's something saying they need to move another guy. They got what the hell's going on with that? We'll leave it be for now. Let's keep going. And then we'll recap some of the stuff. It'll be a nice surprise for us.
Gus Nyquist goes to Minnesota for
and he might not play there. This is true.
There's a 1st round.
Here's a big one.
You can have the biggie.
Okay. So we talked about Patrick Kane, went to the New York Rangers. Obviously needs salary retained big time. Going back the other way. Basically was a 2nd-round pick in the 4th round. Well, let's just put it in. Again, people go, oh, how come he didn't get that much? He didn't even a 1st-round pick for him. Well, he had no trade clause. He's unrestricted. He made it known that the only place he wants to go is the Rangers. The Rangers know that. They're not going to give you a shit ton of picks anyway for him. This is the only place he wants to come, right? So, Chicago got what they could for him. I know it sucks if you're a Blackhawks fan, which makes me laugh because fucking Blackhawks, right? I mean, they're going to be horrible for a while. Can't wait. We're getting out of it, I feel, but they're going to be bad for a while. But hey, Patrick Egan, you said Patrick Kane on the Rangers. Again, eye test, advanced stats, not great this year. Like brutal, actually. Defensively, he's non-existent. Offensively as well, but now you put him with some of these guys, put him back with Redman, and you've got Spanajad. It's an embarrassment of riches. I mean, you look at the Rangers, look at the Bruins. Even you say the Leafs, you could say Tampa Bay. It's just like you have a lot of teams at the top here. Even Carolina maybe a little bit too, where it's like this is going to be a bloodbath. So
Jersey playing well too.
Yeah, New Jersey. Even if you got into a wild card spot, you're gonna So I was like, just back off a little bit, right? Okay, here's an interesting one.
Yeah, so Jonathan Quick is staying West Coast, so he was dealt to Columbus there, but they just this was the Columbus one. I'm thinking already sending him to Vegas, but it was the Jonathan Quick in a conditional 2023 1st round and a 2024 3rd to Columbus for the Kings receiving Korpisalo and Václav Gavrikov. Quick, obviously, then just getting dealt to Vegas, so he's going to be playing there. What do you think about Quickie, the whole Quick?
Well, because he does go to the Knights, right?
Yeah, he ends up.
I think he was just like, what the fuck, because I guess they didn't tell him. They didn't let him know, like, hey, we're moving you. That was like not even moving you to a team that is contending. So if you're the Kings, it's probably you want to try and do good by someone that won you a couple cups.
Yeah.
Where like Dustin Brown got a statue. You got
Jonathan Columbus. Yeah, sent to Columbus.
See you later, idiot. So hey, you know what? I mean, Columbus, they got some picks there. They're looking at the 1st and 3rd round pick. I think Quick was more of like a cap thing. So they could send Gavrikov the other way. But then going, all right, we're gonna move Quick, get him somewhere else to play here. right? So good on them for moving him again. Here's some quick ones here. Lars Eller for a second-round pick. The Avalanche picked up Lars Eller, who's also a champion, so shoring up that kind of second line for Colorado, maybe even third on Avalanche. So decent trade, subtle. And then the Hurricanes picking up Shane Gostisbehere for a third-round pick. I remember when he was. I mean, he still is pretty good. I mean, he was on Earth. True, but I mean, again, his advanced stats are looking pretty good this year as well. Okay, here's Vancouver. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but let's talk about it. Let's not say we did it. Philip Hronek goes to the Vancouver Canucks with a 4th-round pick for like a conditional 1st-round pick and a 2nd round.
So that Islanders trade there, the Islanders pick, the Horvat, and the Horvat people. So when you look at it, you traded Bo Horvat for the Hronek, Pavelier, Red.
And then he traded this in a second to get Philip Hronek.
Yeah.
He's still under contract.
Yeah, but a day or two after that horrible turnover in the Ottawa game.
Like when I saw the return form, I'm like, hell yeah.
Of course we're going
to take that. But it is as high as it is because he still has a year on his deal and he's
25.
Vancouver's clearly trying to retool, not blowing it up.
Which I don't want some.
But it's just one of those things where, like, what's going to come of that? I feel like they're trying it this way. They've been trying it for a second, but like you're trying to get assets. I mean, giving up a 1st-round pick, I'll hold that one, but
yeah,
it could be a mid pick. I mean, for the Red Wings, I mean, yeah, there's a whole on second now, but I mean, they have so many prospects coming out, and I'm thinking that. But we'll get to that in a second. And finally, Jacob Chikrin got traded for like fucking nothing, even though he's been on the block for 2 years. 1st round, 2nd round, 2nd round, conditional.
Ottawa, just they were looking for him last year. They're saying, just wait for his value to go down and down. Did it drop dramatically? I wouldn't say horribly, but still, two conditional picks there for 2 conditional picks there for him. Ottawa is also in that right up there, trying to get the last wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely helps them out
for sure. I mean, Chikrin's a great player. I mean, he's good. In the mix with Shabbat and Sanderson, like that's a pretty damn good top 3 there. I'm probably missing right now, but I know they have like a decent for young.
Yeah. Couple of quickies, Mesnikov going then from Tampa to San Jose there.
And then he got flipped to the Jets.
The Jets, yeah.
The Jets picked that. And then look at this, another one. The Predators pick up another pick from Michael Graham in the 2nd round. I don't know the Penguins. I really, they're in like the wild card and they're kind of buying. I understand that's Crosby knocking and it's going to be trying to like keep it going. But that stuff reminds me of like Detroit circa 2016. Also, it's like, hey man, like you got that Steven Zetterberg still trying to go for it, but it's like, hey, you just picked up leg one. It's like
they were putting out there something to Vancouver for JT Miller, but of course,
yeah,
Vancouver management being the clowns they are, they're saying, no, we want to get a player back. We don't want picks.
It's like,
why not?
Pick to get a player.
Yeah, exactly. Use the picks to get the player, and who knows? But those are a couple of quickies, and then
now this one probably hurts some Red Wings fans, and I'm here to tell you, like, it's okay. So Tyler Bertuzzi goes to the Boston Bruins, so that's he's gonna be on that 3rd one.
Yeah,
he was on your 1st, and Detroit's retaining 50%, not a big deal. But they got a 1st-round pick and a 5th round, and I think it was supposed to be a 4th. I think they screwed it up on this page. But I mean, great trade on both sides. I think that's a win-win. I don't think Bertuzzi was coming back. I really do. I mean, maybe he wanted to, but yeah, but at the same time, for like, it wasn't even that. It's more like how many years, his age, is he going to be that? You already signed Larkin to this long deal. Are you going to do another one? I know they were buddies. I get it. It's a human part of it. Best buddy. If you got traded off my team somewhere, I'd be like, too bad.
What if they trade into another podcast or something?
Yeah, I know where I stand. So, and then this one's really funny. I just put this one on here because Jake Voracek traded in the Coyotes. He's probably not going to play again. So it's just another one of these things where, like, you look at the could have been Coyotes roster with Pavel Datsyuk, Marian Hossa, Voracek, Chris Pronger, Shea Weber, Brian Little, all these guys that they've acquired that's better than their actual team right now. I wanted to throw that in there as fun. We already kind of mentioned the Jonathan Quick.
Houston, they're one of the Oilers there for Kessler. Okay,
and a third
rounder. So
I mean, that's another one where Edmonton's like, oh, let's pick up this depth guy. It's like, great. Dime a dozen. I mean, is that really what they need? Who knows? We did mention Max Domi going to Dallas. Let's skip that. Anton Khudobin is, I don't know if they'll ever play again either. That's just kind of a cap on second round pick to Chicago. And then like all these ones are kind of boring
from today.
Yeah, the ones that have happened today. Okay, and this is like trade deadline day. Now there might be a few more on here. I know there are.
We're gonna forget some.
So I'll go through these quick. So Bonino went back to the Penguins from the Sharks for some picks and a prospect. The Canadians got a pick in there too to retain. This one, okay. Okay, Jacob Vrana went from Detroit to St. Louis. So right when I heard St. Louis, I thought, oh my God, that's easy. The whole Vrana thing, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I don't know. No one will ever know what happened with Jacob Vrana. And we never will. I don't think we ever will. And if we do, it'll be a long time. Trying to make sense of what's happening with him, the player, versus him, the person, and putting it together. It's tough to do because you're not going to understand what happened with this player assistance program. And trying to say, oh, this is what it is. Nobody knows, right? He's dealing with something. That's all we know. All I know is there's this weird feeling where I feel like, again, like just my feeling is Detroit kind of fucked him over. Just where he never really got the shot to like come in and play top line minutes, which is what he does. He's not the third or fourth line guy. That's where he was plugged in. Yeah. And I mean, even in Grand Rapids, he didn't play for a while. It took a second to come in. But I also go, they treated him way different. A player coming back from the injury. Yeah. Way different, right? And just the optics of it don't look good.
When reconditioning.
But if you're talking about, again, it was mental health. It was something where it was like you needed assistance. Obviously, he was going through something. It doesn't seem like you supported him that much. And then you said, fuck, you see you later, right? Now, it could be because of the money. Right? He was making $5.5 million, right? So I mean, that's some cap space opened up. They didn't really get anything. They got some guy that's going to stay with the AHL team. He's only got a 7th round. And they retain 50% of the salary. This is a salary. They're probably buying him out. I bet you, right? And I mean, it's unfortunate because just the potential the guy had. But at the same time, potential is only potential if you're playing. And if you're on the ice and you're playing, he didn't play that much with Detroit. And I remember 2 years ago, right? Remember how excited I was.
Yeah,
I would still do it. I would still do it because they still got those 2 draft picks, you know, and it just didn't work out with Brad. And it should have. It really should have. And I'm just kind of
you're stopping.
It's a really bitter taste in my mouth where I was like, they used to have his jersey in the shop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, hey, it's like, and now all of a sudden it just felt like Malone hated it. You know, that's what it seemed like. I'm saying he did. I'm just saying it seems like it, right? That, he's got to work on stuff. And I know he didn't play well. I'm not making excuses for the guy. He needs to like show that he can still do it. But I'm glad. I'm just glad that, you know, I hope he carries 40 for St. Louis. Honestly, fuck it. I hope he does.
Yeah, that's certainly
he's good, right? But
no, so don't have to worry about him plugging in the lineup out of the lineup. He said he's going to be playing the third line.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Here you go, Vancouver again.
Curtis Lazar goes for a 4th round pick. Sweet. Didn't think we would get a 4th or 5th. He didn't really know he was getting on the move, but he said earlier on TSN that he always keeps his phone ready because you never know. You get a 4th round pick for him.
And then we mentioned the Mesnikov to the Jets, and Dmitry Kulikov went from the Ducks to the Penguins. Anaheim has a historically bad defense this year, and Kulikov is not a great defensive player, so another Penguins move where I'm kind of not really sure what they're doing with that. Now, I know for a fact, we don't have it written down. I know that Oscar Sundqvist got traded from the Red Wings to the Minnesota Wild for like a 4th round pick. So, you know, they're getting a pick for him. I don't think they would bring him back. And now it's something where I kind of wish, like, now we have Rasmussen out. He should have been on the just me. So I don't think any of these other
Jordan Greenway for a second. Yeah.
I mean, who knows what that is? Okay, I want to just talk about this rumor we were seeing on here. Is that a bit? That's not one. There's this rumor that Detroit was trading for James Van Riemsdyk. Who's okay? And it didn't go through. I don't think we were looking at it, and I was like, "What are we actually doing here?" Because
like you thought I was fucking with you when I said this, and then I showed you the tweet.
This tweet says Yzerman just got a JVR still in your cart to go on to proceed email. No 6th-round pick from the Senators to Philly for Patrick Brown. I have no idea who that is. Rasmus Asplund to Predators. Okay. Yeah, that whole JVR thing was interesting. I mean, there's a lot of teams saying that, the deadline is kind of done for a lot of people. Carolina didn't really do anything.
Yeah, JT Miller, Vancouver too. That's yesterday.
So, I'm kind of looking JVR.
You're surprised, like you said, it's just after 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah, so I mean, usually there are just that pop.
Stuff's going to be coming on through still till probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like Dreger 20 minutes ago said, JVR likely heading to Detroit. He wasn't done. Things are possible even though they play like you. Why? What's Detroit doing? It's the first time I was like, he's a 33-year-old pending free agent. It's like, is it just like you need a body now because you lose so? I don't know. It's so weird.
There's so many teams willing to get the Canucks, but to give the Canucks futures to get out of cap hell, and they keep saying no thanks.
Yeah, this is really interesting. That is the most bizarre thing.
If I don't see
JVR stays put. That's what Dreger just said 10 seconds ago. I don't know what the hell is going on there, man. That's I would love to hear what were we thinking here?
Yeah. What was this? What was
like were they gonna get him and with a pick or something? Like that really? Yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't know what the hell that's about. It's UFA. Was it just something where Philly was maybe it was when Philly was so desperate to move him? They're like, give us a 5th. It's like, right, here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
actually, it's not like guys.
They're still technically in that playoff hunt a little bit, where it's like, oh, I can get him for less than what he's worth. Maybe that's all it was, and then it was kind of like,
kicking tires.
I don't know if we need to do Kenny Holland special kicking tires. So anyway, like honestly, we really didn't even do a lot of this live because what was working. I had some stuff going on. Today. Dude, this is what now what we have to do, and I've said this, we have July 1st off, right? Everybody does Canada Day.
Oh yeah, right? It's Canada
Day. We need to take the day off before.
Yes.
Okay, to do a 2-day free agent frenzy extravaganza, right? Because last year's was crazy. Like it was so fun. It was constantly someone signing every 5 minutes, and it was so much fun. Where we could basically do a 6-hour-long podcast each day and just watch the shit because things are going to continuously happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we had the papers too saying this guy's going here.
Oh, yeah. See, the reason it felt a little weird this year is because, number one,
we weren't together.
Right?
I appreciate that.
Number two is we didn't prepare for anything. We used to do pre-deadline.
Where we thought guy would go.
Yeah.
Just didn't. This year just didn't.
Yeah, we weren't really so plugged in, and everybody got moved so early that it was like, all right, well, and then those things we have other things going on too. This is
we have
to go to we have a really nice banner, but that's it.
We got a banner, we got a nice sweater, stickers.
That's all we got. We're just two fanboys hanging out with the YouTube channel. That's all it's. So if something else huge happens. Maybe we'll add it on. Probably not.
Sweet edit in. Just
sweet edit it in. Yeah. Just still frame. Start moving our mouths.
Yeah.
But you know what? It has been a while since we've done one. Happy we got to do.
Yeah. So listen, we have. I know we said we're just two fanboys that just do this, but it's just certain days that we have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we have to do free. We have to do free agency, but it's something where it's just an excuse to chill.
Oh, it's so.
JVR is not a Red Wing. Until next time, folks, Bushy and Bobo signing off. We'll talk to you soon.
I usually say something stupid here.